Come on, guys. Please tell me human beings are smarter than this.
You kids need some assistance?
Okay, guys, we all love horror movies and we love the characters and the villains and the final girls, but let's just be real. Sometimes there's a lot of dumb decisions that are made. I'm talking about some really stupid shit.
This Everclear is kicking my ass.
Today, I'm going to go over the top 10 dumbest decisions in horror movies. Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about dumb decisions, the top 10 most dumb decisions ever made in horror movies. And this is a list. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this one and just kind of talk because there's been some crazy stuff that the characters have done in these films. Now, granted, I want to put this out there right off the bat. Obviously, in horror movies, dumb decisions sometimes have to be made. You got to set up what's going on with the villain or the circumstances or what have you. So I understand that. Let's just put that to the side, guys. But I'm still going to call these guys out. I'm still going to call out these characters for doing dumb shit. And, hopefully you guys will agree. Let's start off with a couple honorable mentions. My first honorable mention is from Candyman. And I hate to say it, and I love Virginia Madsen as this character of Helen, but yeah, some dumb decisions. Helen becomes obsessed with proving the legend, and she keeps poking the bear. Guess what? Candyman is going to get you. I hate to say this, but there's a whole movie, her whole existence pivots on this dumb decision. She's brave, she's smart, she's cool, she's iconic, but that was a dumb decision. Let's just be real. It is. Okay, my second honorable mention, and this is a classic one, man. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I've got to call out just about everybody in this film, including you, Franklin, just for being you. No, I love Franklin, but repeatedly, these characters are going into the Sawyer house and on the property and so forth. What are we doing? The house looks messed up as hell. Get away. You don't go in there. I don't care if you're stranded or not. You got 2 legs, 2 feet. Franklin's got wheels. Huff it. Get somewhere that looks a lot better than that. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say. So those are my honorable mentions. Okay, let's go. Let's start with number 10, Halloween. That's right, guys. One of my most favorite movies ever. One of the best slasher films ever. One of my most favorite icons in Michael Myers ever, and so forth. But dumb stuff was done, okay? That's all I'm going to say. After finding her friends missing, Laurie repeatedly investigates suspicious noises throughout the Doyle house instead of getting out immediately. Seriously, it's actually, one of those old horror tropes, okay? It makes for great suspense for sure, but viewers have spent decades yelling at the screen. And so did I, guys. I just couldn't believe it. It's like at some point you just got to be like, hey, I can't find them. Let me just figure this thing out at some other time. Let me get the kids and go. Seriously, I will say, if nothing else, Laurie Strode has taught us all, how to avoid something like this. But yeah, this is number 10. And again, it's a trope that we've seen many times in horror movies. You hear a sound or you want to investigate. Look, if you're not a cop, don't investigate. Don't. Just survive, okay, guys? At number 9, I have The Ring, watching the tape. Rachel literally watches the cursed videotape linked to multiple deaths, and she knows that they are linked to multiple deaths. Curiosity kills more than cats in this film, okay? This decision starts the whole avalanche of everything that happens to her and also her son. It's a nightmare, and it's all because she was so curious and she decided to watch that damn videotape. I love Rachel as a character, and I think Naomi Watts was fantastic in this movie. Her character alone is one of the bright spots in this movie, which itself is a very bright spot. But I'm just saying, the way that she portrayed this character made the movie even better than it already was. But unfortunately, as soon as she decides to watch it, I'll never forget the first time I was watching this friggin' movie. As soon as she started to watch it, I was like, no, what are we doing? For real, what are we doing? But again, I get it. Some things have to happen for events in horror films to unfold. But yeah, it was a dumbass decision. And that's number 9. Okay. At number 8, I've got...
My boots aren't laced. Oh my god, what the fuck is that?
The Blair Witch Project, Going into the Woods. The filmmakers repeatedly ignore warning signs, local legends, and common sense. Once they become lost, they continue making choices that only worsen their situation. I mean, again, kicking the map in the river because you guys were so frustrated that it wasn't getting you where you needed to go. That one scene, okay, in one way I was pissed, in another way I was laughing, and then in another way I was like, you guys suck. I was feeling multiple emotions when I first saw this film. Now when I watch it, it's actually kind of a highlight because I just know, and it's just funny. I laugh at it. It's a horrible decision, but to even go into the woods itself was a bad decision. And this plays out with a lot of characters. They don't believe in either the evil or the warnings or the whatever, and again, it just sets them up every single time. It is like clockwork. But yeah, for Blair Witch Project, they shouldn't have even gone in the woods, especially with all the legends. There was like multiple people they interviewed. The legends. It's like, come on, guys, let's be real. At number 7, I have The Evil Dead, reading from the Necronomicon. Okay, now listen, this is a dumbass decision that has been made many times in this franchise, time and time and time again. If you discover an ancient book that is wrapped in warnings, skin, and written in blood, reading it aloud is probably not a very smart thing to do. It's a terrible thing to do. This decision unleashes absolute chaos in each friggin' film. Now, I will say, perhaps for Evil Dead Rise, they were thinking about this. And in Evil Dead Rise, it's not so much that the kids are reading from the book, but that the record is playing. So I gotta admit, that was kind of a nice little twist to it. I mean, I'm still blaming the kid. He shouldn't have been playing the record. But, it put it this way. That was a lot smarter. That was a better mistake than anyone before him, okay? And this was a little kid. Usually it's adults that decide to read from the friggin' Necronomicon. You guys are stupid, and you know it. And that's why the Deadites came after you. I'm just saying. I love Evil Dead. I love the franchise. One of the most consistent franchises there is. Maybe the most, especially after this year. If you know, you know. But still, what a dumb decision. Reading that book. Get out of here. Get out of here. It didn't help that the Necronomicon was in Jason Goes to Hell either. I'm just saying, if you guys know how I feel about Jason Goes to Hell, you know what's going on. Okay, number 6. I think this list is going to surprise you guys because these are great films. These are not bad films. Okay, that's a double whammy when you make dumbass decisions in a bad film. But these are good films, and I enjoy these films. But these are bad decisions, dumb decisions in these good films. At number 6, I have...
Jesus Christ, you don't know the rules?
Have an aneurysm, why don't you?
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie.
Scream. Splitting up, guys. Listen, Here's the real thing. Randy Meeks, my man, Randy Meeks, literally tells you the rules of how to survive a horror movie. And yet, everybody splits up. Why? Why? I mean, he's telling you all these different rules, and they're ignoring all of them. I mean, obviously, the funniest one is, I'll be right back, because Stu made fun of that. But then again, we know why, because he was one of the killers. So, see, you got to catch that type of thing. But seriously, the party scene itself, it was a masterclass in terrible decision making all over the place. I mean, I think the only decision, especially at the party scene and all the way out through the end, the decision that made the most sense to me is when you had Stu and Randy begging Sydney, to let them in and cry, basically pleading with her, and she's like, F this, and shuts them out. Like, thank you for making a good decision, Sydney, seriously. And it's not the only good decision, but you guys get what I'm saying. So, okay, at number 5, this one, look, so far, these are dumb decisions. This might be the dumbest so far, because that's how I'm ranking these, okay? I'm kind of going up to the dumbest decision, right? Number 5 is from The Descent. Going into the cave system, okay? Not only do the characters enter a dangerous cave network, they discover one member lied about the route and never informed anyone where they were going. The disaster begins long before the friggin' creatures even appear. Guys, look. This is dumb. This is so far, all of these are dumb, but this might be the epitome of dumb. Juno, I loved her character. Just a lot of lane, to work with a character like that, and the betrayal and all that. But to go into a cave system that has never been traveled in, discovered, she wanted to map it out and name it and all that. Like, yeah, that's cool, but not in the real world. Okay, not in the real world. You have no idea where you're going. You have no idea where it goes, and you have no idea what is waiting. Whether that is the terrain, places where you could drop off into an abyss, or obviously the creatures. This was stupid. When I first saw this film, and I love this film, this is one of my favorite horror films of all time. But when I first saw this film, immediately I was like, are you friggin' kidding me? And to be fair, in the film, the other characters play it the way I would have played it. They almost killed Juno for this. Are you friggin' stupid or what? And yeah, okay, fine. She's an adventurer. She wants to be right on the edge, and they all are adrenaline junkies and all of this. And she's like, this is what we live for, blah, blah, blah. No, bro, we don't live for that much. No, we don't. But anyways, a great film, and this sets up everything. So yeah, but a dumb decision to start it off with, no doubt. Okay, guys, I've got 4 more, the top 4. This is a lot of fun to talk about. I hope that you guys are enjoying this. And again, let me know what you think. But at number 4, I have Hellraiser, opening the puzzle box. Frank's curiosity introduces him to the Cenobites and starts one of horror's most infamous chains of consequences. Perfect example of a decision that destroys multiple lives. And that includes you too, Kirsty. Stop opening the frigging box, okay? Frank, first of all, starting with Frank. Frank's opening the box. He knows, about the whole thing, the legends of pleasure and pain, and going to the limits of the abyss. Look, guy, you need to play some video games or read some books. That's what you need to do. Travel more or something, because this was stupid. This was so stupid. And again, this is a fantastic movie by Clive Barker. And I think that the Cenobites, and obviously Pinhead, played by the great Doug Bradley, this is all great stuff. So once we get into it, it's great payoff, because this mythology, and I've said it time and time again, this is one of the best mythologies of any horror film, especially when you talk about the Cenobites. and everything about them. Like it's almost infinite what you could do story wise. But to get there, you've got to open that box. Look, I used to love the Rubik's Cube, and after about 35 minutes, I realized I'm not going to solve it. And I've never gone back. I've watched people do it. But what I'm saying, man, this puzzle box, like, no, screw that. I'm not going to touch it. And it's funny enough, as the films go on, and I won't get into a rant about how they totally fall off after 3, and it's a bunch of direct-to-video or direct-to-DVD films until the Hulu one, which was actually pretty decent. But they talk about how the box was made and Pinhead's backstory and all this. Is like, this is not making it any better, guys. This is not making me feel any less pissed off at these characters in these films that open the puzzle box. That's how this all pops off, opening the puzzle box. If you don't do that, you will not have to deal with Pinhead and the Cenobites. So it's like, when we talk about greatest villains and their powers and how to defeat them, guess what? Pinhead's pretty easy. Don't open the box. He's gonna stay in his lane and you can stay in your lane. So that's all I'm saying. So at number 4, we've got opening the puzzle box. Okay, at number 3, I have
got a high def camera on. My girlfriend Katie, she thinks there's something in the house. I don't know.
You believe me, right?
Paranormal Activity. Micah keeps provoking the demon. This, again, we're going down stupid assville lane. Okay, you have a character, they see what's going on throughout the film, and it ramps up, this whole poltergeist like activity and all of that type of stuff. Believe your eyes, you recorded it. It wasn't like it was told to you, like with Blair Witch. Like, I can almost give you a little bit of a pass because it's hearsay, right? You can say, I don't believe it. He saw what was going on, right? Micah is essentially given a list of things not to do and does every single one of them. He records it, he taunts it, he investigates it. I told you before, don't investigate if you're not a cop, okay? And he escalates the haunting until catastrophe becomes inevitable, right up to the end when his ass gets thrown to the camera. Okay, he caused it. I don't feel that bad for you, Micah. I really don't, because you just talk. Again, this is number 3, so it's high on Dumbville scale. All right, this is very stupid. I love the movie. I think that it is one of those horror films that really made its mark and kind of upped the ante when you talk about found footage horror. But damn, again, things have to happen in order for us to get a story for a lot of these horror films, and I get that. But again, what a dumbass character. I'm just saying, we're up to the top 2, guys, and I think there's going to be some surprises here. It's going to be some surprises, and I hope that you guys enjoy this. At number 2, I have
Spotty should kick him out. They get weaker the longer they're in here.
It hasn't.
Give it time.
They're killing him.
Talk to Me. Treating the hand like a party game. The entire premise revolves around people treating a dangerous supernatural artifact like a drinking game. The outcome is exactly as disastrous as you'd expect. Guys, Talk to Me is such a great film, and I have talked about it multiple times. I think that even in my top 10 rankings, it's been part of the conversation because it does so many great things, but everything revolves around inviting the demon in by saying, talk to me, right? It's catchy, right? Talk to me, that's great. But it's dumb. And it's really, really dumb. Now, the way that the Filippo brothers crafted this idea is that it's almost like a dare, like it's a party game, like a dare, like drinking games, right? okay, yeah, obviously I can see how that would work, especially with a bunch of young people. But damn, is it stupid. Oh my god, is it so stupid. And in the film, so many of the characters, especially the ones that had already done it before Mia, were kind of like, and you could tell they were like, oh, let's not fuck up, because bad things can happen. And it's like, bro, why even go down that road? Because the other thing too is, once you do it, and I think the film did this to kind of take away some of the stupidness of these people. Once you do it, it's almost like a drug. You're almost, you're feeling like you have to continue doing it. So there was a little bit of a metaphor, as far as drug addiction, being addicted to something. Okay, fine, but that doesn't take off enough stupidness for me, man. Like they treat it like it's a game, and even when stuff starts to pop off, it. Come on, guys, please tell me human beings are smarter than this. It's a great film. The premise itself is great. The way that the film comes across with its story, it feels pretty fresh. But this in and of itself is so stupid, and that's why it is at number 2. Oh, okay, guys. We are here to the number 1 dumbest decision ever made in horror movies. And guys, I love this film. I love everything about this film, and I have since I was a little kid. But damn, is this dumb. Okay, at number 1, I have.
Well, that just happens to be exactly what I'm looking for. I'm outlining a new writing project, and 5 months of peace is just what I want.
That's very good, Jack.
The Shining. Jack Torrance takes the Overlook job. Jack willingly moves his family into an isolated hotel with a history of murder, violence, and psychological instability. Okay, every tragedy that follows can be traced back to the single choice of him accepting the job. It's not just a bad decision. It may be the most catastrophic decision ever made in a horror movie. Because here's the thing. He's a writer. Okay, great. He could have gotten another job, right? He could have gotten another job. When Mr. Ullman is telling him about the history and about the murder, and Jack kind of has that look on his face like, and he talks about his wife as a horror movie fanatic. It's like, yeah, and she can watch horror movies at home. That's what she can do. She doesn't want to become one. Okay, this was such a bad decision. You take your family and you travel 80,000 miles away into the most remote point in America with a snowstorm that makes Alaska look timid, and you think that that's a great idea. Plus, the hotel has a history of murder and violence. And not only that, but the hotel's creepy. Okay, let's just be real. I love The Shining, and the hotel has a majesty to it and a beauty to it, I should say. And a lot of that is the way that Kubrick filmed it, right? But nah, I don't want to spend any time in there other than, maybe walking around a quick little, tour and then get the fuck out. That's what I want to do at the Overlook Hotel. In and out, bro. I mean, seriously, Jack was there and he was able to get the tour. You go through the hall to Ullman's office. It doesn't make sense from the outside, by the way. If you guys know, Room 237. Watch that documentary. This place is messed up right from the get-go. Okay, seriously. And Jack just, look, some people say, and let's talk about this. Some people say, well, Jack was already pulled into the influence of the Overlook or whatever at that point, whatever. Hey, look, I don't give a crap. Seriously, it was a bad decision. It really was. I mean, oh my God, everything that happened from there is just like, it's banana pancakes. And it's all because Jack was like, yeah, I need a job and I'm going to take this one instead of working at a Walmart or a car wash or something. while you get a chance to write your book and get on track with your life. Oh my God, freaking stupid. All right, listen, but I love the movie, and I'm poking fun. I'm having fun with this, guys, and I hope you're having fun with it too. I really, really do, because these are the things that we have to accept and absorb in these horror movies, even the ones that we love, as part of just, that's what it is. That's how it is. So, I love The Shining, and I love Jack Nicholson in this role, and I love this character of Jack Torrance. He's an iconic figure in horror. But yeah, this could be the dumbest decision of all time, especially when he's told that the old caretaker literally chopped up his family. Like, do you want to take the job? Do I? No, I don't. So anyways, guys, I'm ranting, but those are my top 10 dumbest decisions ever made in horror movies. And yeah, let me know what you think about this list. This was a lot of fun to do, guys. Let me know what you thought of it. That's how I'm going to find out what you think in the comments down below. Let's talk about this, as we always do as a family. This is not the right list. This is not the wrong list. This is just my list, guys. And I had fun putting it together. And trust me, I had another 20 that I could have put on a much bigger list. So who knows? Maybe I'll do a part 2 of this. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. And yeah, let's talk about your choices. What would you say are the dumbest decisions ever made in horror movies? If you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps us out so much. We appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to Night Watch Zone, please do so. Become part of this community, this family. And also, if you'd like to help out the channel, watch my other top 10s. I've had so much fun putting these together. I've got tier rankings as well, video essays. The more of those that you watch, the more it helps the channel, and we really appreciate it. I will catch you guys next time. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.